What's going on, everybody? It's Eli here from TreeFall Studios, and today we're back with another devlog for the Perplexing Orb 2. Today we're going to be focusing all on the challenge mode, which is now completed. I haven't really shown any of these in the devlog before, but this past couple weeks I started teasing them on Twitter with little video snippets, as well as I posted a challenge level 2 gameplay video on the channel. If you didn't check that out, you can watch the full gameplay of that level, but we're going to show the other levels 1, 3, and 4 today, and I'm going to show you a little bit about the menu and how it's been coded. So I decided I've went back and forth on this, on how to do the menus, because usually what happens is I'll make a menu with a lot of buttons, like these are menu buttons, and then when you press them, it will load another scene and take you to another menu. And then clicking through the menus, like say you don't want to click on the level anymore, you just click back, but then it will reload another scene. So it's basically wasting space because you're taking up scenes that you actually have to load, doing all duplicate code and music and all this stuff. So for this one, I've decided to do it just like this. This is the main title menu, and then when you press challenge, those warp away and the challenge menu appears. And this took a while to get right, but I finally coded it all correctly. There was some weird issues with it not coming in at the same time and the right time, and I've mostly alleviated that. And then, if you hit back, you'll just disappear that menu and reload this menu, and then you can warp right back and forth. So all of the challenge stuff can be accessed directly, instantly from the title screen. And then another big thing that I wanted to make sure that I took care of in terms of gameplay feel or player experience is I noticed that it's no good if you go into a challenge level and then beat a challenge level and then warp back to the menu and then have to click through 2 menus to get right back to where you were if you were, say, wanting to play challenge mode. So you'll see after I beat this level that it warps back to the title screen, but it goes through and opens straight up to the challenge menu, which is pretty key. I'm glad that I got that figured out. So this is the first level here, and as you can see, there's this ramp here, and if you try to start small to fit in that gap, you will not. Even if you go all the way back here, you won't have enough speed to make it. So you have to start big, and you need to be able to jump and then shrink to land into that gap. So that is the first challenge. The second part of this challenge is right over here. There's these bumps. You can either stay small or big, whichever you prefer. I think big is a little bit easier to navigate. It seems counterintuitive, but you don't actually be pushed as much. And then the last challenge is this skinny straight pole. It's really hard to, as long as you keep your finger really straight, but it's easy to get knocked off. So that was the first challenge level, and as you can see, it just warps right back into the menu, and boom, we're back on the challenge mode. You can back right back out, go to load game. You can go to the extras or the multiplayer. Once those buttons over there are done, you can see there's still just the new game buttons. This week I finished the challenge. By next week, I'll have those 2 buttons to show you and what those modes are like. So you warp back in, and as you can see, the challenge mode levels are not all unlocked. You basically unlock these by completing the artifact challenges in the actual game. So they're not unlocked by completing levels, they're unlocked by beating the level and getting all of the artifacts on that level before getting your game over. So there's basically 2 challenges for every level. You either just beat the level, which is a challenge in itself in the story mode, and then also on top of that you have a challenge of trying to get all of the artifacts and completing the level before running out of your 5 lives per level. So real quick, let's jump into challenge 3. I'm about to go to debug mode and jump cut, but I'm going to show you challenge 3 and challenge 4. Alright guys, here we are in challenge 3, and this level is ridiculous, just like the rest of these challenge levels. If you haven't noticed already, a feature from the original game, if you did not play, is back in this game. For challenge mode, you can fall off as many times as you want, and you can see your live count never decreases. So you have unlimited tries because these levels are just too ridiculous. If you're gonna try to beat them, you're going to want to not be hitting the game over all the time. In the regular game, there is a game over if you lose 5 lives, and that's because you only have that many tries to collect all the artifacts and get to the finish. It would basically break the artifact challenge if you just had unlimited lives. So yeah, but that's really helpful. So for this one, I've got the falling platforms resetting over and over and over. So that's different than how I do it for the actual game. So I'm glad I got all of this working to have a falling platform challenge. This is definitely tougher than any of the ones in the actual game, so you have to make a jump over here, you jump here, you take this ramp. These are actually sideways, so you have to roll across them at such a slim margin, and then after you get across that, you have to jump here, this one, this one, this one, and then you got to go on these sideways ramps, which is ridiculous, and then you got to go all the way around with another challenge at the very back. As you can see, it kind of pulls back, so there's a little bit of a challenge there, because as you pull the orb back, you got to be careful how fast you go, because the camera's moving back with you and you can't see the platforms instantly, so you can kind of see it right here. You just got to go back just a little bit and make one more jump, and then go around the curve and then jump into the finish post. This level is one of my favorites for the challenges. It's just crazy. These are all completely optional. Additional levels you unlock outside the story, and they don't affect your story percentage completion or anything like that. Also, for my PlayStation fans, like, these levels won't have trophies tied to them, so there won't be platinum blockers or anything like that. This is just for people who like intense levels and tough challenges, want to be able to see if they can do it, prove to themselves that they can do it, and you can share the screenshots with your friends once you beat all the levels. I also think that I'm going to implement, once I show off the extras menu, special player skins that are unlocked by beating the challenge modes, so you can basically show off on your orb character with new skins if you're able to best these ridiculous levels. Alright, so let's take a look at challenge level 4, and you can let me know in the comments below whether you think this or that one is tougher. Alright, this is challenge level number 4, and this, I think, could be my favorite of the challenge levels. It doesn't look like much right here, but it is absolutely just utterly ridiculous. So like I said, let me know after I show you all these levels and you're watching this video. If you get this far in the video, let me know in the comments below which one you think is tougher, challenge 3 or challenge 4. So if you've been keeping up with the devlogs, you have seen that this world is about these rotating platforms here, where you basically have to shift your weight in order to make the jumps. And for this challenge level only, I created a brand new platform and a brand new challenge. These like seesaw looking dip platforms, as you can see, they're actually not ones that rotate back and forth, but instead they spin. So if you can watch this, you basically have to land these right, get enough ramp, hit this one. In order to spin it, you have to hit it on the side and then also land on it and then climb up it fast enough to get to the next ramp. That's a lot to take in, and it's absolutely ridiculous. It is very tough, especially since that last one you basically had a ramp to jump you to it. This one you do not, so you actually don't get air. You just kind of have to hit it as quick as you can, and also still hit it in the right angle to where you can rotate and then land on it. See, this one you have a little bit more of a space, and I kind of didn't hit it hard enough. You can kind of rotate back and forth on it to spin it around, but that's kind of hard. I just quit and start over and just hit it from the side usually when I'm playing it. And yes, I have beaten this level, and I have beaten it more than once, so it is absolutely doable, but it's in that category of ridiculousness that a lot of people probably will just give up on this level. You got to be really wanting to best the challenge in order to take this one on. I really like it. It's a whole new challenge. I feel like this type of, like, that spin, like hit it just right on the side and rotate it quick enough, and then also be able to stay on the platform and roll off of it in time to land on the next one before you miss it, before it spins too far and then slows down. That would have been just way too tough to do in the regular story, but I'm glad I get to experiment with difficult challenges like that, just physics-based challenges pretty much, because there's so many that the orb can really do, but they wouldn't really fit well in the main story, so I'm glad I am still including challenge levels in this game. Definitely one of my favorite features. I really liked the PS4 version of the Perplexing Orb because I got to add the brutal challenge mode, which was an additional mode that was added to the game that was even tougher than the original challenges. And then for this game, I pretty much just kind of mixed brutal and regular challenge mode. I feel like these challenge levels are harder than the original Perplexing Orb challenge levels and maybe not as tough as the brutal challenge mode, which no one was able to beat really. I didn't have anyone ever send us any screenshots of beating those levels. I think everyone pretty much gave up. We were even offering a gift card, a $20 gift card for the first person to post a video beating it launch week, and not a single person posted it. So I kind of made these more doable, but still tougher than the original game's challenges. That way, it's just an overall tough and satisfying challenge when you complete the levels. So that's going to do it for today's devlog. I hope you enjoyed this look at these challenge levels. Let me know in the comments below which one you think is the toughest challenge level. If you didn't catch that video where I showed off challenge level 2, be sure to check that. It was the last video we uploaded to the channel. Without further ado, I need to give a thanks to our people who support us on patreon.com. Thank you for supporting TreeFall Studios. I need to give a special shout out to LV, Carmen Red, PLP, and Overhyped Gamer. I could not do what I do without you. Thanks for supporting TreeFall Studios on patreon.com. Alright guys, with that being said, I'll catch you guys in the next video.